Hello, beautiful souls. Good evening, or good day, however this finds you. This is a timeless reading. So whichever now moment this reaches you, it is perfect and divine. Welcome to the Shamanic Oracle, Voices of Truth. There's a message coming through around perseverance, which I felt called to share and to expand upon. So please take a breath, take a moment to be present with your beautiful self. In these intense times. I'm going to pull a card for you this evening from the Earth and Bone Oracle, clear. And just really anchor into this moment and open to receive. Great Spirit, as we see how we can expand upon this message, this energy, the essence of perseverance. It's a great quality to have right now, right? I think a lot of us are finding the energy really intense right now. We're really finding out, getting a taster of what it feels like to be in this new frequency, which is really an accelerated energy, a new wave, which we're being asked to ride. And it's interesting because I was going to bring in the energy of the rose medicine with the next set of cards that I brought into these readings. But I took it to the water yesterday. I laid in the bath and Spirit was quite clear. No, bring in the earth and bone. And this oracle deck is really about honouring the concepts of rebirth and transformation. So we've got one that wants to be present there. Okay. So we've got migration. It's a little bit dark, yeah. If I put that there, then you may hopefully be able to see that. Initiation, adventure and freedom. I feel like this is a message for anybody who has got the wanderlust. Anyone who's feeling, and I know that we are, this urge to travel, to step on new ground, to expand into a new space, whether that's within or without. Sometimes the dash for freedom is an inner process, which in many ways it always is, right? But this also refers to stepping on new ground. Now, when we get these big energy impulses from Spirit for freedom, sometimes I'm feeling that there's then a yeah but that comes in through the mind. How is that going to happen, right? So the perseverance, the willing to double down on a sense of inner belief, a sense of what's possible. Something new is possible, even if I don't know how. Sometimes you have to take a gamble. Do you have the patience it takes, plus the courage to take risks to reap the rewards? Sometimes it might not work out and sometimes it will, but if you never take the chance, you'll never know. The hard truth is that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you everything you want. There can be the urge, the sort of sweeping urge for somebody to take it away, somebody to do it for us. And I can relate to this in that very feminine space of being swept away, feeling on a current, a tide that we're not really sure where it's taking us. We're not really sure if we can ride this wave, but we know we're being asked to. No one is coming to help you change, teach you or accept you until you do it for yourself. Stop making excuses and go after the life you want. So, in other words, believe in your ability to do for yourself what your wildest dreams are asking you to do, even if that's just one step towards. Change how you approach and do things. Still take action, but balance work and play. Choose to do it from a place of joy and love. Take time for yourself. I feel like there's somebody who knows that this is necessary, but there's like an inner child part that wants to be coddled. There's a part of us that wishes to be held, like wake me up when it's all over, that kind of feeling. And just acknowledging that part. If that's a part of you, be gentle with that part. Okay, know that that is a result of feeling weary, feeling unsupported maybe in the past. If somebody's been feeling as if they're lacking support in their life, you know, and this is an old paradigm construct, isn't it? Especially for women. I have to do everything myself. Okay. And it's an interesting one because that can come from trauma. It can come from that wounded space of finding life difficult and feeling alone. But yet when we really look at that, who else is going to do it for us? There's a huge empowerment for somebody around realizing the power of your own consciousness to change yourself. In other words, nothing's coming in from outside. So I feel like it's a call for somebody to shift a perspective around that. If you've been feeling that kind of heavy weight of having to do everything myself, identify which parts of that come from the past and honour that, honour the pain within that, but realise that the new journey, the new shift that you're being asked to make is actually a divine gift. It's a great honour to realise your own power to change yourself and to really grasp that with both hands, because you are the only one that can shape your destiny. So change how you approach and do things. Change your mental approach to that. And instead of viewing that as a burden, flip that around and view it as a great opportunity, a great honour. Take time for yourself. If you need to honour those pieces and parts, if you need to really respect, recognise that, and just sit with that with great love, you know, and witness the struggles that you've had to endure to get to this point, and persevere. Take breaks. Shift your process and thoughts. You may be taking on too much, so that's really important that you bring in a gentleness Let go of the need to do it all. Replenish yourself. Put in the time for self-care and balance. You do not need to complete everything on the checklist all at once. You are helped and guided. You may need to ask for help for others. Try to delegate what you don't enjoy if it needs to be completed. So you are helped and guided, okay? And you may need to ask for help from others. Now, that can be a little bit difficult when we've been in this old mindset of hyper independence. So that's it's a wounded masculine. And I think we've all been there, and we're all coming out of that, because this world is always asking what we do. It puts a lot of value on the doing, the masculine. Okay, but when that comes from this hyper independent place, we often shut ourselves down to receiving support, receiving help, and asking. It can be really, really difficult. I used to find it very, very difficult to ask for help, even from my own family. And actually what happened in my life in many ways was that things started to break down in areas where I was blocked to receiving. And it forced me into being willing to ask for help. We are not designed to do everything alone. Okay, we're all interconnected, and it's really about shifting from that wounded masculine hyper independence to a more open space of receiving, and not seeing that as a failure. It's not a failure. It's not a failure that you can't do everything yourself. You're not meant to. I'm just going to read you a short affirmation from this migration card. Initiation, adventure, freedom. I believe in myself and my abilities. I am unstoppable. I am proud of myself and how far I have come. It really is great medicine to stop and respect exactly where we're at. That is self-love. You know, I talk about self-love in my work with women a lot, but I've moved away from the concept of love as we've been taught to experience it, because it's often had and still has in this world, in the old paradigm, it has conditions attached, and there's a lot of attachments to the word love, as there is to the word God, for example. People have a lot of issues sometimes connecting with the concept of self-love, and it's not light and fluffy. I prefer to break love down into the qualities of how it is felt. And it's much easier sometimes, especially when we're hurt still and we're still dealing with the past, we're still releasing the past, to think of self-love in those nuanced qualities. In other words, what does love look like in practice? How does it feel when somebody genuinely shows us love? So it can look like a lot of different things, and I'd really invite you to feed into this for yourself. Respect, acceptance, tenderness, care, okay, dignity, freedom. All of these things are qualities of what we call love, and the way that I am speaking and expressing that concept of love is more akin to divine love, unconditional love, which is actually quite rare to find on this planet as it is. It comes from source. It's sourced directly from God, the Most High, the divine, Mother Nature, however you connect with source. Okay, and it's a frequency that has many different aspects. So if it makes it easier for you to connect with loving yourself, connect with respect. Respecting yourself, respecting your journey, respecting how far you've come, respecting your experiences, and respecting exactly where you're at right now. Because if we are bypassing or pushing past where we are at, it's actually quite difficult to expand into something new. We really need to activate and initiate this new urge for freedom and adventure by being fully complete with who and where we're at now and who we are right now. So an invitation there to be fully present with yourself. And if you're experiencing that urge to fly free, which a lot of us are, in ways that we don't really understand right now, the mind does not have a frame of reference for this new urge to expand. So thank you. Can we just be with where we're at as a starting point for that expansion? Okay, interesting. Nice. So we've now got time, planning, making decisions and taking risks. Okay. Now don't forget, these cards are all about the concepts of rebirth and transformation. Okay, so planning, making decisions and taking risks. Okay. I'm just going to read you a bit from this one. Do everything you want to do before your time is up. Live the life you want. Don't wait for anyone or anything. Don't get to the end of the road with any regrets. If there's something you want to do, then do it. Stop waiting for the right time. Now is the right time. Less thinking, more doing. So coming out of those constructs. Stop fearing the unknown. Stop doubting and start imagining all the positive possibilities. Nothing is set in stone. Have the courage and the willpower to try. Okay. Now we can get beaten down with trying. I'm trying, and it can feel like some endless journey. Okay. But when we surrender that feeling of things being a burden and tap into what a great opportunity this is for me to know my own power better. What a great opportunity for me to step into the possibilities that I've been shown. If you've been given a vision, a sense of something more, then it is yours to bring to fruition. Nobody else is going to do that for you, right? The universe and your spirit guides have your back. Your spirit team wants the best for you. They want you to enjoy this life to the fullest. Lessons are presented to you that you must learn so that your dreams and desires can align perfectly. Go through what you need to experience and feel. Learn to heal. And that really is about learning to let yourself feel what you feel. Don't bypass what you feel. Just be with it. All it wants is for you to not judge and run away from it. And that's been a habit. We've not been taught how to be with ourselves and how to accept ourselves. So that energy of acceptance is self-love. Lessons are presented to you so that you must learn, so your dreams and desires can align perfectly, right? Going through it is the only way to get what you want. So there's no way through but in. Make positive changes if you aren't happy. Again, you're the only one who can do that. So give yourself permission. You hold the power for your own happiness. Exude gratitude and it will all work out. Gratitude is people talk about this all the time, but it really is a frequency to cultivate. And I find, especially in the morning, when sometimes the thoughts of yesterday can pile in, it can be a really powerful practice to just sit peacefully, quietly, and still the mind, and keep it really simple. I'm so grateful for my bed. I'm so grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm so grateful to be able to get up and put hot water in a drink, have a nice cup of tea. I'm so grateful that the sun has come up this morning. Okay? Just keep it simple, because the energy of gratitude can warm our heart, and then just exude that, send that out to the universe around you. And that's a really good way to start your day, and to stop those thoughts unconsciously piling in from yesterday. I give myself permission to thrive. I am attracting high vibrational experiences into my life. And just a note on that, I actually shared this earlier in a container that I'm holding. You have to excuse me, I'm purging a little after sitting with some hape. High vibrational does not mean we are jumping around like Tigger all the time, okay? Full of what we perceive to be excitement and joy. Some of the highest vibrational frequencies are in the calm stillness of acceptance. It's like joy itself. What does that conjure up to you? We can experience joy as being full presence with what is. The ability to be fully present with the sensations in our body with full acceptance. Those sensations could be pain. They could be discomfort. They could be anger. They could be something that traditionally we do not associate with a high vibe or joy, right? But really, redefining, define for yourself, and be good with what is. Be able to be with what is. And that in itself elevates and expands our vibration. So don't get caught in the high vibe love and light kind of illusion, if you like, or bypass that has the connotation that you have to look a certain way all the time, okay? It is not negative to be fully present with yourself. We don't want to become a heavy emotion, but to be able to be present and still with it without judging it, without trying to fix, force, or push it away, and bringing in that willingness to be divinely present, to have that stillness of witness and just allow yourself to be, is a very, very powerful space to be. And there is alchemy in that, because all of these heavy energies that we've been holding in the body, and the energy of the past, the old energies as such, the stuff that's connected to our past, the reason we're still holding it there is because we've been looking at it with judgment. We've been meeting it with criticism. We've been meeting it with the same energy that stuffed it down into the body in the first place. So it's an invitation to persevere with yourself, to persevere with the process of accepting yourself and being at one with anything that wishes to be witnessed. Holy Spirit, do we have anything else here from this deck to expand upon this now? I want it to come out. Okay, amazing. This card actually came out earlier for me when I was looking at or communicating some things around trusting self. Now, this is the Apprentice, okay? Higher education, beliefs and wisdom. There we go. This card is not about the kind of learning you gain from reading a book, okay? Because we do often look outside of ourselves, don't we? For the answers, for something new, for the next step. It's about listening to and learning from your higher self. It's about learning to place your trust in a higher power. This is what you are learning, dear one. All will be yours, and your heart's desires are manifesting through beginning to understand how the universe works. So, are you willing to become the apprentice, to die to yourself, to bring in a surrender to what is, and that space of stillness, which does bring a newness? It brings something new. Dream your biggest dream and hold it in your heart. You must remain clear on that vision. It lights you beyond measure. So can you persevere with your vision, or are you easily... I feel like there's a tendency, I'm seeing like a stone dropping, like that feeling of, oh no, it's gone wrong again, I've done something wrong, nothing works out for me, that hopelessness, okay? We've got to guard against that frequency, that drop, because it isn't actually real. There is no such thing as failure. It's all lessons and experience. It's all just divine experience that we have the choice or the opportunity to learn from. So whatever you can perceive, you can achieve. You are deserving. A plan will help you to focus. So persevere. Persevere with your plans, with your dreams. Do not detour. Spirits are guiding you to light. You have come so far, and they are so proud. If you feel lost, pursue your bliss. Follow what you enjoy. It's that simple. Do not focus on monetary value or gain. Do not focus on desired outcomes or success. Simply do it because you love to do it. Try making a list of what you love to do. So somebody needs to surrender to just the pure joy of the moment, okay? And many of us have forgotten what brings us joy just for the sake of it. We've often always pushed past our own needs or what gives us pleasure just for the sake of it, because it's not perceived to have any value. But that is not true. Actually, we are at our most aligned and magnetic also when we are doing something that we love and allowing ourselves to be in that space just for the sake of it. If you don't know what you love to do, try everything. The vibration of learning allows us to appreciate what is. Low vibrational beings experience agitation through higher learning because their belief systems and consciousness are not aligned with universal truths. And this is where we're all coming from, right? We're learning universal truths. We're learning our own truths. We're learning how to be true to ourselves. High vibrational beings know it's a waste of energy trying to teach people who have not ascended about the universal truth. So this could be for somebody who is desperately trying to take other people with them. Okay, when we first start to expand our consciousness and awaken and become more aware of ourselves, the first thing that we want, sometimes again we're looking outside of ourselves and we want other people to understand us and to experience what we are experiencing, new levels of bliss, new ways of dreaming, all this, the new energy that's flooding through. But really this urge to seek outside of ourselves is another loop of the old, okay? So can you just be present with yourself? Can you be the apprentice, die to those old ways of being, and be willing to open to the stillness that is inside, where the quiet voices whisper to you? The information you are learning and knowledge you are gaining is for your benefit and for those who are on a higher plane of consciousness. So don't be afraid. Release the fear. Somebody needs to release the fear that they're going to lose something by expanding. Okay, there is never anything to lose, only to gain. And the best way that we can influence, if you like, the people around us, our family, our friends, is to be. Not really to talk about it or to try to force in our sharing, but just to allow ourselves, give yourself permission to do it for yourself. And, you know, really find the joy within that journey of self-discovery, knowing that when you allow yourself to do that on that really personal, beautiful, introspective quest, then your love light will expand and shine, and then people around you will notice that and be drawn and will ask questions and will come closer to you. But when we try to affect others with our new awareness, we actually stunt our own growth sometimes as well. Okay, so yeah, that's a message for somebody who has the most beautiful, loving intention for a family member, a friend, to experience this newness, you know, and to let go of the past and the pain and the old. But when we're really banging our head against a wall, when we're trying to affect somebody else's journey in that way, instead just give yourself permission to be fully present with yourself, do it for yourself, and know that you can, and that your higher self has all the wisdom and guidance that you need to expand beyond your current space. And just you know, a note there as well, that everything around you is on a lag. Like your physical reality, your circumstances are effectively a result of yesterday. So we're learning to hold a new space in the now moment of willingness, surrender, acceptance, peace, to slow down into the body, just be present with what is, and not get caught up and wrapped up in the circumstances around us. Because when we do that, we are perpetuating that. Today we're creating tomorrow, and if we're focusing our attention in this now moment on what already is, then we're only ever going to create more of that. So that's beautiful. Okay, I just feel called to, wrap up this reading for tonight with a message from the Mystical Oracle deck for you to receive an essence and some medicine. Clear. To help us to integrate that, Spirit. So what energy, what do we need to know? Show us what we need to know to bring a greater peace, inner standing and understanding of how we persevere. Thank you. Oh wow, this is such a beautiful card. It really is, and it's a very multi-dimensional card, this, the Rainmaker. It's a very beautiful message. The essence of the Rainmaker is the master of manifestation. So we're really looping back to our first card here, the migration, the freedom, the urge for something new, the adventure, the new initiation, okay? And everything that we essentially seek to bring in and manifest The master of manifestation, the rainmaker, who can call on the elements of nature to serve the greater good. When the power to co-create is used with integrity, great beauty and benefit flow to all. When this power is used for personal gain only, everyone suffers. When the earth is parched, the rainmaker calls the waters from the heavens. And all that is dormant in the fields and in people's hearts springs to life again. The invitation here, the rainmaker is calling you to create something new from the elements that are already in your life. Be sure you work with what is and not with what might be or could have been. So this is calling us to be in full presence in the now moment. There is no such thing as linear time. Time is cyclical, and in essence, it's a man-made construct. And when we really sit with that, our experience of life is a never-ending series of now moments, okay? In any given now moment, we're either present with that now moment, or we're lugging the burden of the past into that now moment through our thoughts, or we're projecting into the future. Can we just be fully present with what is already present, and be willing to work with that? The seeds that have been silently germinating in your heart will burst forth, ready for the sunlight. Do not hold back. Put all your chips on the next roll of the divine dice. I'm going to read the medicine as well because I feel like it's relevant for somebody. Recognize how you are co-creating your world. Nothing is happening out there without your involvement. So look around at your life. Everything, we can often get in the habit of focusing on what we don't like, okay? But when we truly feel into the fact that we are always co-creating our life, we're doing it by default if we're unconscious of that. In other words, everything in your life you have placed there. Everything in your life is a result of something that you desired at some point. Now, often we are creating from what we know that we don't want. So in other words, if we're moving out, they say jumping from the fat to the fire, don't we? And I've done that many times in my life when I've been unconsciously creating, where I've made moves and made changes and desired for things to get me out of a situation. Okay, so we're creating from what we don't want. And when we first start to consciously evolve as well, it's quite a useful thing in a sense to move away from something. In other words, I don't know where I'm going. I don't really know what I want, but I know what I don't want. So, and that is a valid way to move forward, when we don't know what other way to move forward. All right. But when you really sit with the fact that you are a divine co-creator, you co-create with spirit in every moment, because that's your power. That's your template. Your blueprint is the Trinity. It's the co-creational power of God. You create through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And that's happening regardless. So when you really own that and look around at your life and everything that you have placed in your life for whatever reason, recognize that, own it, be grateful for that, and recognize the power that you have there. And again, when we are, your point of power, that point of power is right now. So what are you creating for tomorrow based on what you're giving your attention to right now? Remember that the world is only mirroring back to you the condition of your love and your intent. So change these within before you take any action. And do not take life personally. Do not take life personally. It's not personal. It really isn't. We can get really identified with our pain in a way that is unhelpful, in a way that keeps us looping in the stories. We're attached to it. And I went through a huge process the other morning when I was doing my movement practices. I've started a new practice. I've started cold water therapy. Had a lot of resistance to that coming up, but I've pushed through it for the first time in a long time. And I had this whole like surge of emotion coming up because I get a lot of pain in my hands and my wrists, right? And it just came through me, washed through me. I've actually been holding on to the past, holding on, gripping on. And what came through was, it was almost like a lack of feeling as if I deserve love. So therefore I'm holding onto that pain. And I had a huge release in such a different way that allowed me to consciously release my grip on the past. So if anybody is feeling stuck with the past, that is only in here. It's not truly you. It doesn't define you. It's not your true identity. There are many layers to letting go. Letting go is not necessarily easy, but we can do it with ease if we allow. And recognize, again, bringing in that willingness to persevere for yourself, because you're worth that. You're deserving of all of those beautiful visions, dreams, and everything that you feel in your heart is coming, is there, is present. We've got to release our grip on the past, and that's a very active process, but it's one that starts by being fully present with self and coming out of making yourself wrong. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? And no matter how much pain you've been holding, no matter what the past has taught you, we're now shifting into a paradigm where we can learn through love, and that starts with ourselves. It starts within. Everything is here. Everything is, can I be willing to offer that to myself first and foremost? So I think that's complete for this evening. I hope that helped you in some way. I hope you got something from that. If you did, please like and subscribe. Help me grow this channel. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy talking about consciousness and expansion, whether it's in readings, you know, in whatever context. It's like, this is what we're here for. We're here to expand our consciousness. And all healing really is a byproduct of that. We don't need to focus on the past anymore in that way. We don't need to dig around 4444. We don't need to dig around anymore. We just need to be fully present with ourselves, with those beautiful divine qualities of love. Okay, the essence of love in action. Whichever one you can access, whether it's acceptance, respect, tenderness. Please bring in some tenderness for yourself. Okay, try to sit with the energy of curiosity rather than judgment. Very different energies, and when we come at ourselves with judgment, it's a very harsh, critical, cold, shut down space where there's not really any room for anything new. But when we can turn that around to curiosity, wow, I'm really curious about what's going on for me here. You know, how can I find out? How can I allow myself to discover more? Because this is a path of self-discovery, this life. Know thyself, and that is the journey. So really bringing in a beautiful, gentle essence of tenderness and respect for yourself in any given moment, and expand from there. So I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you again soon.